Marty Supreme, which is the new film by Josh Safdie, previously best known as one half of the Safdie brothers with Benny, who created heaven knows what, Good Times, Uncut Gems. And since, I think it was last year, they've been working solo. Benny made The Smashing Machine with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Josh has now made this with Timothy Chalamet. So he co-wrote the script with Ronald Bronstein. This takes inspiration, apparently, I know nothing about the background subject. It takes inspiration from the life of US table tennis player Marty Reisman, of whom I did not know anything, although this has been called a fictionalized original rather than a biopic. So there's inspiration, but it's not meant to be, based on true. So it's best described, I think, as an ever so slightly psychotic screwball comedy with elements of an anxiety attack that kind of ping-pongs its way through a series of increasingly calamitous, unfortunate events as our anti-hero, who is kind of hyperactive, attempts to finally put the ball over the net, to use the tennis analogy. So he is Marty Mauser, and he is this young Jewish guy who's constantly on the move, desperate to make it in the world of table tennis, the world of ping pong. He's brash, he's abrasive, he's obnoxious, he's incessantly in everybody's face. He's liberal in his use of absolutely jaw-dropping, inappropriate. I mean, he says things that are like, wow, I'm just astonished that somebody just said that out loud. He needs money, of course, and he is convinced that his patented orange ping pong ball, which is apparently the Marty Supreme of the title, will change the game and the world. He's also having an affair with Rachel, played by Odessa Azion, who is married to a brutish husband with whom he shall cross swords during the course of the drama. And very early on, he needs to get money. His employer won't give him money. So he goes to the employer's office. He pulls a gun. He says, give me the money that you owe me because I need to go, because I've got to get this tennis thing done. Inveigles his way into the Ritz, goes to London, goes to the royal suite in the Ritz, and also inveigles his way into the bed of this glamorous, faded movie star, now turned to theatre, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. Here is a clip from the trailer.
Hello?
Hey, it's Marty Mauser. I'm in the royal suite. I saw you in the lobby yesterday.
Okay.
Well, I never talked to an actual movie star. I'm something of a performer, too.
Are you?
Yeah, you don't believe me? You what? You what? You got the Daily Mail in front of you?
This is you?
Yeah, the chosen one. It's a nice picture, right?
I have a purpose. And if you think that's some sort of blessing, it's not. It means I have an obligation to see a very specific thing through. And with that obligation comes sacrifice.
Everything in my life's falling apart, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Do you need any help? I could help you.
I know it's hard to believe, but I'm telling you, this game, it fills stadiums overseas. And it's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
Very nice use of the Alphaville song there.
Very, very good, very good. So, Gwyneth Paltrow. So, okay. But there's no point in doing a whole bunch of plot but essentially that there is a potential sponsor who somebody who can back him, but he has a showdown with this rising Japanese star Koto Endo, and finds himself in desperate need of money in order to go and get this rematch and make himself the champion that he wants to be. Okay, fine. Those are the sort of essential narrative elements of the plot, is him chasing this desire to become this international ping pong star. However, that plot, which is the sort of the driving story, is just surrounded by all these curlicues of other sort of plot diversions, other stuff going on, like a kind of blizzard of stuff going on. One of the things that the movie does is it creates this kind of atmosphere in which there's just stuff happening all the time. And the interesting thing about that is that it means that very much remember you saw Uncut Gems, right?
Yes, I saw that in the afternoon,
okay.
And the Lighthouse film in the morning.
Wow, that must have been quite the day. Well, you remember that sort of sense of just stuff barreling along that you get in Uncut Gems. There is one scene in this, for example, in which Timothy Chalamet's character, in desperate need of a wash, manages to get himself into a $3 hotel. He's told not to use the shower. He gets into the bath. The bath then falls through the ceiling onto the room below, in which Abel Ferrara, he of the Bad Lieutenant, let's not repeat that story, is there with his dog, who gets injured and then needs to be taken to the hospital, but ends up in the possession of somebody else, basically as a kind of kidnap, ransom thing that becomes the beginning of one of the story's shaggiest dog story elements. And that's really just the beginning of it. Apparently, the film cost something like $70 million, and they said that makes it A24's most expensive film, outstripping even Civil War, which you and I both like very much. It's shot by Darius Khondji. I think it's 35 mil. The design does a great job of recreating the kind of period setting, because it's 1950s New York period setting. I don't know whether I even mentioned that, but it is. And then you have this score by Daniel Lopatin, who's One O Tricks Point Never, who's worked with the Safdies before on projects like Uncut Gems. And the music is really interesting, because you picked up that cue there, because the music is interspersed with anachronistic needle drops. Like the film begins and ends with Tears for Fears. So it begins with Change. That is Tears for Fears, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. And then it ends with Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Mm-hmm. And there's this strange mixture of kind of the astute anachronistic. I mean, I read a piece about the music in which they were talking about the fact that it goes 50s setting. So in the 50s, electronica is kind of in its infancy. I mean, 56 is B.B. and Louis Barron's electronic score for Forbidden Planet, which is the first fully electronic score for a feature film. And obviously, Daniel Lopatin's music is electro-driven. But what it does here is it gives you that sense of, not of anachronism, but of being the sound that's going on inside the head of the character. There is that kind of the rush. It's like he seems to be like on a constant adrenal rush, and all that is going on in the score. I don't know whether you've seen the poster, but the poster is Timothée Chalamet with his shirt open, running through the streets, which is and that is pretty much what the film feels like, that it's constantly on the move, it's constantly hyperactive, it's constantly running between one thing and the music is doing a very, very good job of giving you that kind of, that sense of adrenal rush. And the overall effect is one of kind of spiraling, absurdist chaos. I mean, it's a mix of, it's amusing, it's offensive, it's exhausting, and like the game itself, like the game of ping pong, it is really hard to keep your eye on the ball. And the film drags you like the main character from pillar to post. Timothée Chalamet is very good in it. I think it's one of his best performances. Gwyneth Paltrow is terrific in as well. In fact, all the performances are very good, and the way in which it's designed is terrific. I mean, it is exhausting, but it's kind of meant to be. And if you saw Uncut Gems and The Lighthouse in the same day,
yes,
you'll find it a walk in the park. But it has that kind of that propulsiveness. I mean, it feels very much like that the similar drive that you got in Uncut Gems, and I can see why it is that so many critics are absolutely. I didn't love it. I thought it was pretty good, and I thought that Timothée Chalamet was very, very good in it.
Is he known as Marty Supreme in there? Where does the title?
No, this is essentially. But Marty Supreme, you see written on the thing, so it is apparently the ball.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, okay. Because I was wondering, because I'd never heard of him, so I was intrigued. So the Supreme is the ball, or the Marty Supreme is the ball?
Marty Supreme is the ball. Yeah.
So it's named after a ball.
The ball is called the Marty Supreme.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not sure that works really for me. But anyway.
So you're now going to get bothered about the fact that it's like, because you have this whole thing about films that are named after fictional things.
But he's a real person.
But it's not a biopic. That's the point. He's Mauser in the film, which is not the name of the guy who's in real life. That's why it's very specific, saying it is an original work that is inspired by something that by a true story.